In the early hours of October 28, 2025, news broke from Abuja. Nigeria's federal government had quietly approved a 15% import duty on petrol and diesel. For a country that imports almost all its refined fuel, this announcement was more than policy. It was a statement, a signal that something big was changing in Africa's largest oil-producing nation. For decades, Nigeria's oil story has been a paradox. Rich in crude, poor in refined fuel. Every day, millions of liters of petrol and diesel arrive from Europe, even though the crude that produced them came from Nigerian soil. Analysts say Nigerian losses over $10 billion annually to fuel import costs, subsidies, and foreign exchange pressure. But that cycle may finally be coming to an end. In a statement, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu described the move as a necessary step towards self-sufficiency. He said, "We cannot continue to export wealth and import poverty. This duty encourages Nigerian refineries to rise and supply Nigerians." The 15% duty instantly reshaped the energy conversation, and all eyes turned to one man, Aliko Dangote. The Dangote refinery, which is located in Lekki, Lagos, is the world's largest single-train refinery. Commissioned in May 2023 and built at a cost of over $19 billion, it has the capacity to refine 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day, enough to meet Nigerians' domestic demand and even export to other African countries. For years, many doubted it would ever be completed, but now in 2025, Dangote's refinery is not just operational, it's redefining the market. With the new 15% import duty in place, imported petrol suddenly becomes more expensive. That gives local refineries like Dangote's a massive competition edge. Fuel that used to come from Europe at a lower landed cost will now have to compete with Nigerians' owned refined products.
Gasoline, this is the PMS. You can see the diesel, because I'm sure most Nigerians, they have never ever seen this color of diesel. But this is what you call Euro 5 diesel. It's less than.
In short, Tinubu's policy and Dangote's refinery are aligned. One political, one industrial, both pushing for a new oil era. Economic analysts like Dr. Bismarck Rewani call it the single most consequential shift in Nigeria's downstream sector since deregulation. According to the Ministry of Finance, the government expects to generate an additional 2.3 trillion naira in customs and excise revenue within the first year. But that's only part of the story. For ordinary Nigerians, the question is simpler. Will this make fuel cheaper? Initially, the answer might be no. The 15% duty could push pump price up by 150 naira to 200 naira per litre, according to the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOAN. As of late October 2025, the average petrol price in Lagos stood at around 890 naira per litre. If the new duty fully passes through, it could rise beyond 1,000 naira per litre, a psychological threshold for millions of citizens already struggling with inflation.
People are suffering. You can see the cost of living is too high. People are crying. Nobody is rich. Almost everybody is a potential poor person right now in this country. The character posted by the present leadership of the country.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and Pengasan have already issued statements warning of potential protests. The NLC president, Joe Ajaero, said, "We will not stand by while policies that burden workers are implemented without social questioning." Yet, the government insists this is a short-term pain for long-term gain. To understand why, we must step back. For decades, Nigerian state-owned refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna have been dormant. billions spent on turnaround maintenance yielded little results. The Port Harcourt refinery, for instance, which was slated to resume operations in December 2023, faced repeated delays. But now, with the new import duty and Dangote's success, the government has revived pressure to bring those refineries back online. Officials from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) say the Port Harcourt refinery could finally start partial production before March 2026. If that happens, Nigeria could reduce imports by nearly 80%, saving billions of dollars annually. That's the bigger picture. A Nigeria that no longer depends on imported petrol could stabilize its currency, protect jobs, and reclaim its status as Africa's true energy powerhouse. But there are concerns, and not small ones. Many critics fear this policy might create a monopoly in favor of Dangote. With foreign imports now costlier, Dangote refinery stands virtually unchallenged in the local market. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) warned that without checks and fair competition, one company could end up dictating the pump price. Still, government officials argue that competition will grow. The Bua Group, owned by billionaire Abdulsamad Rabiu, has announced plans to build a 200,000 barrel per day refinery by 2027. Meanwhile, modular refineries in Edo, Rivers, and Delta states are scaling up operations. In the words of Minister of Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lukbobiri, Nigeria's future in refining will not be monopolized. This duty is about industrial awakening, not market control. Internationally, the ripple effects are being felt too. Europe, which for decades exported refined fuel to Africa, may lose a major market. Analysts at Bloomberg Energy Watch estimate Nigeria's imports reduction could cut European refinery exports by over 300,000 barrels per day in 2026. In West Africa, countries like Ghana, Benin, and Togo are already in talks to import fuel from Dangote refinery instead of overseas. It's a seismic shift, one that could transform Lagos into West Africa's new energy hub. If successful, this will be the first time in over 40 years that Nigeria refines most of what it consumes. For everyday Nigerians, the change might not be immediate. Fuel queues may still appear, prices may fluctuate, but the long-term picture could mean cheaper, locally produced fuel and an economy less exposed to global oil shocks. It's also a story about vision and timing. Dangote began building his refinery in 2026 against all odds, rising costs, currency crisis, and regulatory delays. Today, in 2025, that bet is paying off. President Tinubu's economic team argues that the 15% import duty isn't just a tax, it's a bridge from import dependency to self-reliance. We are not punishing importers, says Finance Minister Wale Edun. We are rewarding investors who believe in Nigerians' capacity to refine. Still, the public patience is thin. Inflation in 2025 has averaged 27%. Food prices continue to soar, and the naira remains under pressure at around 1,520 naira per dollar on the parallel markets. For many Nigerians, these policies sound promising, but they want results, not rhetoric. Economists believe it could take 12 to 18 months before the benefit of this policy fully reflects. But if it works, if Nigeria truly refines for itself and the region, the impacts could be monumental. Imagine a Nigeria exporting refined petrol, not crude oil. A Nigeria that keeps its jobs, value, and currency strength within its borders. That's the dream behind this 15% duty, and the refinery that stands at its heart. As the sun sets over Lekki's industrial skyline, the Dangote refinery's massive towers gleam under floodlights. Steam rises and the hum of machinery echoes across the lagoon. This is more than industry, it's ambition, it's risk, and it's the beginning of a new chapter in Nigeria's oil story. A chapter that could finally turn decades of paradox into power. From crude to confidence, from dependency to determination, Nigeria's oil future is being written one refinery at a time. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video interesting, kindly click on the subscription button, comment your thoughts, and also like and share. Thank you very much.